YouTube. Welcome to the Academy. It's your boy Rev. Hey, look, guys, congratulations. Congratulations for finding this video. If this video found you, that means something is calling towards you. I know that might sounds a little but in this channel, right, the Apex Academy, we're going to be talking about how you can become the apex male that you've always wanted to be. In this channel, we're going to be talking about self-mastery. We're going to be talking about things like dating and finance. We're going to be talking about things like fitness, health, and the manosphere as a whole. You know what I'm saying? So, once again, if this video found you, congratulations. Give yourself a pat on the back. You know what I mean? We out here going to be the best versions of ourselves that we can possibly be. You know what I'm saying? So again, let's go ahead and get started with the topic that I've been thinking about all day. So what I've been thinking about and what I want to share with y'all, you know, every man needs to have a purpose in life. And what do I mean by that? You know what I mean? I feel like, my personal opinion, right? My personal opinion, I feel like every man should have a purpose solely because, you know, we were put on this earth, to do great things. You know what I mean? Every man, you know what I mean? Me, you watching this video, your dad, your brother, every guy, you know what I mean? I feel like we were put on this planet for a reason, you know what I mean? I feel like we were meant to do great things. So I feel like, by having a purpose, it just fulfills that. Now, you're probably like, well, how do I find my purpose? You know what I mean? How do I find my purpose in life? Hey, that's okay. That's what you got me for. Here's what I mean. Let's say you watching this video, you know what I mean? Let's say you work in this job, right, that you really don't like doing, you know what I mean? And you're probably saying to yourself, well, I would like to maybe own my own business one day, or maybe I want to go back to school, go back to college, and maybe I want to do engineering or something like that. Whatever it may be, you got that in your head. So you're probably saying to yourself, what do I need to do now, right? What do I need to do to get to the next level, right? And ask yourself, why do I want to do this, right? Why do I want to, say, leave this job, for example? You know what I mean? Why do I want to leave this job to pursue something greater? You got to ask yourself the why. So keep that in the back of your head. Ask yourself the why. So by asking yourself that, you're going to try to do everything in your power. You know what I mean? You're going to try to do everything in your power to, get to the next level. You know what I mean? Maybe you have to, maybe work extra hours at your job. Maybe you have to get a second job. Maybe you have to, tweak your finances a little bit. And we'll talk about stuff like that, in future videos. So yeah, you're gonna try to do everything you can to propel yourself to the next level. I'll use the business definition. Let's say, I'm gonna try to ballpark number. I'm gonna try to save up 10 racks. You know what I mean? $10,000. You know what I mean? I'm gonna try to save up $10,000 to, maybe start my own business. You know what I mean? So, I'm gonna try to, work these extra hours. I'm gonna try to do this. I'm gonna try to do that. I'm gonna maybe try to apply for a loan. Trying to make, I'm trying to get my credit up, and we'll talk about, credit in future videos. what do I need to do now? You see what I'm saying? What do I need to do now? And you know, what do I need to cut out, you know, as far as distractions go? Now, don't get me wrong. We all human at the end of the day. You know what I mean? We all human. Certain things are gonna take us off, you know, take us off our track. But that's okay. As long as you rebound, you know what I mean? As long as you rebound and get back on track. You know, I'm gonna give you a basketball analogy for those who like basketball, right? You know, you getting ready to shoot the basketball into the goal, but you miss, right? Right? You miss shooting the basketball. What are you gonna try to do? You're gonna try to go for that rebound. See what I mean? You're gonna try to go for that rebound, and you know, get yourself back on track, and then you're gonna shoot again. Does that make sense? So, but I feel like that's a good analogy for those who like basketball. So, again, you know, having a purpose is very important. Very, very important. Because without it, you know, deep down, you know, we just feel empty. We just feel lost. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, I know exactly, you know, I know exactly what I mean. You know, yeah, I know exactly how you feel. You know, you probably saying to yourself, probably one day, you know, man, I need to do something. You know what I mean? I need to do something. You know, I want to do something meaningful, you know, in this life. Because as far as we know, we only got one life. You know what I mean? We only have one life. So, you know what I mean? Why not make the best of it? You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I just wanted to touch up on that real fast about having a purpose. And once again, congratulations if this video found you. You know what I mean? Because that just tells you, you know, what you've been looking for, you know, all this time. You know, you finally found it in this video, right? And we're gonna be talking about a whole bunch of stuff in future videos. So with that said, you know, stick around, stay for a while. If you like what you see in this video, give this video a like. You know, consider subscribing to your boy, and we'll see you guys in the next video. So peace out and stay on mission.